So, I have been basically walking around Neukölln and trying to, came up with an idea um, about God, basically. And the basic concept is I was thinking about things like the Bible, and when we look down in the corner and it says the King James Version, and I always wonder, it's almost like a remix. You know, when I do a remix of someone's songs, it's not the original, it's a remix. It is my version of someone else's music. And yet we focus on it because it has really good stories to tell us about how we should live our lives, and that's the truth. And it has a lot of interesting stories and tells us about the end of the world, and it gives us a lot of things that we want to believe in. But I think at some point we've just forgotten that God is within us, and if we actually focused more on the God within instead of trying to externalize God so much, maybe we would get a lot further. I mean, in terms of why are we so obsessed with just having things, objects, cars, houses? Well, not just a normal house, but huge houses. Why is it that a celebrity needs to have a house with 37 rooms when they probably don't even have 37 friends? Why don't we give enough? Why don't we take the time to realize that when our lives are excessive? Why don't we just love someone just because that's the person we love and that's the person we want to be with? Instead, we have expectations and we set our expectations onto someone else, and we project our emotions, and we have illnesses, and then we take more pills, and then we're depressed, and then we're happy, and then we're this. And I always wonder, what if we just basically stripped our lives down? I mean, we have kids, we need to make money, it's the way our life, so our systems work. You need cash to live. But in the end, what if we just realized, wow, I'm doing actually fine right now. Why don't I give to someone else who actually needs a little help? Or why do I have 4 cars? Or why is it that my refrigerator is filled with food? Most of it I will probably throw away or never get around to eating. And instead of actually either buying a smaller fridge or just buying less, eating more maybe, who knows, that we realize, I should probably take this down somewhere, but we never do it. When I look at things like 40% of all voters came out in Dade County, and then I see the people complaining online about, oh, I don't know why we have this horrible governor. Well, we have this horrible governor because you probably just didn't find the time to go vote because it was inconvenient. Because we allow ourselves to be wrapped up by everyday things that are really not necessary. I mean, basically, when it comes down to it, every single thing on this planet came from the same source, and I don't mean from Africa. I mean, it came from somewhere in the middle of the galaxy that came down onto this planet some millions of years ago, and somehow we were lucky enough to be the chosen planet where we actually live. Well, we have the right to live. Well, not really a right. It just happens. This is where we live. And we don't know if anything else is out there, and I don't think it's even important to know if anything else is out there. I don't think it's important to look for this God particle. What is it going to tell us in the end? I think looking for the God within ourselves, we realize we can just be better people. And instead of doing that, because looking inside is so terribly difficult, we thump on the Bible, we thump on the Quran, and we thump on everything else that'll stop us from actually internalizing and realizing that the reason horrible things happen has nothing to do with God, but has to do with the fact that we just haven't found the God within us.